Hey, hey, hey. All right, so I'm going to do a quick live for you all. I'm testing a few things out, such as saving the title of this. I've tried to do it, but it seems to not cooperate. So we're going to try it out again. As you're joining, let me know where you are joining from in the world and what you're having for dinner tonight. And tonight we're going to be talking about how to let your spouse or your partner help you in the kitchen. And it doesn't mean they have to help you cook, so don't panic. Okay, so I'm typing my title. Hopefully it sticks. If it doesn't, we'll scroll up and see. Yes. Okay, got it. All right. So, like I said, if you are wherever you're tuning in from, let me know where you're tuning in from. And we're about to get started. Okay. So, for those that don't know, my name is Chef Ashley Shep. I am a mealtime strategist and personal chef in the Atlanta area. I help busy moms get dinner done faster without ordering takeout. And one of the topics that came up recently with folks is that they have somebody that lives with them, so their spouse or significant other, whatever, their partner, and they don't let them help cook in the kitchen. And so this was a question I asked over in my Facebook community, which is Food Fam with Chef Ashley Shep. So if you are not a member of that, you definitely want to head on over to Facebook and check that out. I'll put it in the comments below. But, and I put it on my personal page just to kind of see if your spouse, partner, whoever, if they were able to help you in the kitchen, what kind of things would you want them to do? So I'm going to share some of the comments. And if you have a different answer, let me know, because I'm actually working on something for you all to help, obviously, get dinner done faster. So, hello, De La Cruz. Thanks for tuning in. And so some of the comments over on Facebook, for the majority, have been that they would prefer the person does the grocery shopping or that they will wash the dishes. Some brave souls even want their significant other to chop the veggies or to prep everything. So that prep could be like washing all the veggies or cleaning the meats, things like that. And then a lot of people were like, don't help, which I thought was kind of funny. For example, one person said, don't get in my way. And that's kind of something that I see from a lot of moms or wives, is that they would rather just be in charge of the meal and making the meal as opposed to letting somebody else come and help them, even if it's somebody in their house, including their kids. And so I asked that person, why did you feel like you didn't want to let them come and help you? And so for her, she felt like it was easier. I'm looking at the comments now, so if you see me looking down, that's why. She said it was easier to have her husband make sure that he's watching the kids, as opposed to coming in the kitchen asking her all these questions because she didn't have time to answer those. Which I understand, because it does slow down your process and it does slow down your thinking. And she said, specifically, she said, don't try to start a conversation while leaning on the cabinets or the island. And I get it, because that is prime real estate. If you have an island in your kitchen, I'm sure you are prepping all your stuff there. Usually the stove is positioned behind the island like mine is. And so that's your area to like do your work. So I get what she's saying there. Other folks said organizing the groceries. So if you are the spouse that is not cooking, this is a great way to help make things easier for your partner or your spouse. Because if you are laying out all the ingredients or putting ingredients up that are not needed, it makes it so it's faster. It makes it so they can easily just grab it. And that's actually one of the ways that chefs in kitchens that we, like in restaurants that we eat from, that's a way that they're able to kind of get food out faster, is to make sure that they have everything in place. And there's a French term for it. I don't want to mess it up because I don't speak French. But there is a term for it where you have everything in place that you need. So if you are the person who's not cooking, then that's definitely something you can do for your spouse, because it's going to help cut down on time. They're going to cut down on their frustration. And it's kind of like a nice gesture, because you are saving those things for them. And it's going to help you eat dinner faster, which ultimately that's the goal. Another tip that I wanted to share is someone mentioned doing the cleanup for them. And so a lot of people said doing the cleanup at the end, which is nice because I don't know, this is like a running joke in our house and some of our friends' houses that we went to college with, that I'll make like something that's super simple, but then all of the dishes in the kitchen will be dirty. I don't agree with that, but I do make a lot of dirty dishes. And so thankfully my husband does help with cleaning those up. And well, one thing my mom actually does is she cleans up while she's cooking. And so for her, that's just something she's always done. And it made it easier for her to literally just go sit down after she was done with making dinner. And if you're making recipes that are a little bit more complicated, or you have to like sit there and like watch it and babysit it, or if you are meal prepping where you're making 2 or 3 different meals at a time, you might not have time to do the dishes at the same time. So if you are the person in the house who's not in charge of making the meals, then maybe you can help them by cleaning those things up as they are using them. Because, for example, if they're able to use that same item multiple times, eventually you're going to end up with less dishes that need to be washed. And then that spouse is going to be less angry, less annoyed, and less exhausted, and be more willing to want to come back and cook more food for you again. So that's tip number 2, to help them clean up and try to clean up as they go along. But stay like in your area, stay like by the sink, and don't come in the cooking area, in the main cooking zone. Let's see, I want to pick one more tip. Oh, someone says when you're cleaning, make sure you wipe off the counters and the stove. That is, yes, that is mandatory. Clean both of them. If you're going to offer to do the dishes, make sure you do that too. Let's see. There was one that was really good that I wanted to share. Okay, so packaging up the food. If you have leftovers, if your family is okay with eating leftovers, then that's a nice step as well to be able to help your mate, because then that's not like an extra set of things that they have to do. They can finish their meal, they can go do whatever they need to do. And packaging up in a way so that it's easier for when the next time you eat it, for you to just go ahead and eat and not have to put them in containers. So for example, if you have like a veggie, a starch, and a side, putting it in those little to-go containers or meal prep containers, so that way somebody could just take that container and heat it up in the microwave, or take that and just take it for lunch. And that's saving an extra step for them, because instead of having to pull out the family size or family style options, they're able to just heat up their individual meal. So these are 3 tips that you can use to help the person in your house that cooks dinner for you. And I guarantee you that if you actually offer to do these, they will be more likely to help you, or they'll be more likely to want to feed you again because you were helping them out in the kitchen. So if you are the spouse or mate who does the cooking, tag your partner, tag your husband, or tag your wife if your wife doesn't cook. Tag them and let them watch these 3 tips that will help you to be able to make dinner faster. If you have any questions, definitely write them down below, and I will be more than happy to answer them. If there was a tip, or if there was something that you felt like would be really helpful to you, if you're the one that does cook in the kitchen, but I didn't mention it, definitely respond below as well. Because like I said earlier, I'm working on something for you to be able to share with your spouse, to be able to help you get dinner done faster. Once again, this has been Chef Ashley Shep, and thanks for tuning in. Have a good one.